Hi there, this is Dawn Del Vecchio with dawndelvecchio.com and Priestess School. And today is September 4th, 2018, and this is your Priestess Pulse energy report, energy update for the coming upon the new moon of September 2018. So this has been a very interesting period of time. This past summer, we've had a number of intense eclipses. And these eclipses, I say they were intense. All eclipses have a frequency, a way of sort of magnifying the energies of whatever we're dealing with in the bigger collective on the planet, but also in our personal lives. But these particular eclipses were also aspected by hard angle by some interesting configurations, including Mars retrograde and Pluto, some outer planet stuff, Uranus. So it's been quite a ride. And when we add to that the multiple planets that were in retrograde through much of the summer, what we have is for the light workers, the healers, the helpers, the priestesses, and the awakening ones, the star children, what we have had is a kind of, I would call it a pause button to give us some time to clean out our psyches, to do some reviewing, revisioning, rectifying, and releasing. So when planets are in retrograde, we apply these words like review, revise, reconsider, reassess, and rectify, revision, and of course, release as well. So with all of the planets that were in retrograde, plus the eclipse season, we were really invited to purge ourselves, to release the old incarnational baggage, lineage baggage, and personal baggage that was still keeping us at a lower vibrational frequency than we could possibly be at. Because what's happening now in terms of if we were to look sort of astrologically, but just energetically as well, is as we move in the next 2 years, a year and a half really toward 2020, we are really, this awakening is accelerating on the planet. Now, those of us who have been on this path for a while, or even if you're fairly new, you know that on the bigger scheme of things, we're still a very small percentage of the human population who are awakening, who are reconnecting with our divine source, who are doing the energy work necessary to heal and clarify our minds and our hearts. So in the bigger scheme of things, we are a small percentage. However, our higher frequency allows for an upliftment of many more people. And so what's happening now is these energies are accelerating. Schumann resonance has had spikes. We are moving as a solar system through a higher frequency segment of the galaxy, of the Milky Way. And because of these things, and because of the exponential increase of light workers on the planet who are doing their deep inner personal shadow work to clear and clarify and release the old incarnational heavy material, heavy karmic density, to begin to embody the frequencies of love at a more empowered, more activated level. We have this acceleration or this exponential increase in the frequencies, and then that serves to increase the energies even more. So as we move toward 2020 now, what's happening is that the energies are accelerating, which means faster manifestation of the energies and the emotionally charged thoughts that we activate within. So, to put it simply, the more baggage we carry around, the more karmic density, the more negative emotional energy we carry around about anything, the quicker we're going to manifest more of that in our lives. So it's crucial that we do the work to begin to really allow for the release. Now, more immediately than 2020, as we move into this new moon, what we are moving into is, rather than the energy we've just been through with the retrograde planets combined with the eclipses, what's happening now is we are moving through into an earth energy. sequence. So we've got planets in all three big Earth signs. We've got, how many planets? I'm not sure. Let me just see here. I'm going to count this out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets, if you count the sun and moon in the new moon, for the new moon. 6 planets in Earth signs on the 9th. And some of those will be staying in there. I mean, we've got Saturn and Mars and Pluto all in Capricorn. Now, Mars is going to be moving out pretty quickly out of that, but still on that new moon that sets the energy for that lunar cycle, we're going to have these 6 planets there. We have Uranus in Taurus, and then again, we're going to have the new moon and the sun in Virgo. So we've got a lot of energy for these earth or grounding energies where we can really ground down and into the body and into opportunities for manifestation. Now remember what I just said before. We're now in this acceleration that's happening. We're able to manifest more quickly, for better or for worse. Manifestation is connected with our frequency, not with, I mean, you could fantasize until the cows come home that you're going to get that new car, but if deep inside you are full of hate and anger and resentment, or constantly feeling very victimized energetically and emotionally, well, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to manifest the energies that are more dominant, not the thoughts, not the positive thinking without energetic support behind it, but the dominant energies. So that's why I said earlier, this summer period of releasing, rectifying, reassessing, reviewing with all of those retrograde planets was kind of like a pause button. It was a pause button for us to begin to purge and release all the energies that were not serving us. So in other words, doing shadow work. Going in and doing the deep work, whether you were working with a therapist, doing a breathwork process, NLP, hypnosis, Akashic record clearing, or many other modalities. Really, this was about going in and looking at your shadow material from this life or others. What is your deep subconscious doing? What are you carrying around that cannot come into the new world with you? This was the opportunity for us to begin to do that work, and many light workers really did. As much as we were able to take the time when we couldn't take action so easily on things, when it felt as if we were being forced into down gear and not able to move forward on push anything, any projects, ideas, visions, activities forward with any kind of momentum. Instead, we chose to turn inward and really do our inner work. So here's the good news. If you are listening to this and you're one of the people who did dedicate some of your time this summer really purging yourself, reviewing and releasing old energies, old belief systems, old relationships, old jobs, old patterns of behavior, old addictions. If you spent time getting rid of that stuff, now it's time for traction. You are going to be in a place where what you manifest is going to be able to align much more with the higher frequency intent of your soul, because you'll have more of that frequency running if you've been purging anything that doesn't serve you. So that's the good news. Is it going to be all peaches and keen and rosy and unicorns and rainbows? No, I can't promise that. Nobody can promise that. We are headed into some very intense transformational times on this planet. If you are here to be in service, you are here to, yes, be able to manifest your highest potential, which by its very nature will align with your greatest joy. But that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to line up with, let's say, superficial fantasies, for example. It's really about lining up with your soul's sacred intent. And when you are lined up in that way and you've been doing the clearing work of old baggage, old shadow material that doesn't serve you, old hates, resentments, addictions, etc., then you're going to find that this period of time, this autumn all the way into winter, you're going to have traction. You're going to be able to bring things to fruition, or bring them into manifestation, or bring them into momentum in a way you just really couldn't feel during the summer months. So that's the exciting news. Now, this grounding, so it's really about grounding. So, keep your sacred practice, keep the actions and intentions that keep you grounded and anchored, anchoring your higher self as much as possible into your physical body, because we are here. This is not about us escaping here. You're here for a reason. So bring that into form now. What is your soul's sacred intent? Why did you come here? Why did you incarnate at this extraordinary period of time? Now is go time. Now is the time to really do something with that energy. So, yay, let's get traction. Now, what about if you've not spent the summer months doing your shadow work, facing your inner demons? What if you've been, let's say, using your energy for things more like clinging, like not really wanting to deal with the confrontative boss or difficult employee that you need to fire, or the relationship that you're just tiptoeing around on eggshells to keep the peace, or the old addictions to TV or alcohol or drugs or you gossip or whatever your particular flavor of that is. What if you've just not been willing to make a shift there? What if you're still playing the victim in some area of your life and really feeling like you are helpless to make change and that other people have the control over you, and what if this summer was showing you some of those patterns, but you experienced it as another layer of hassle, pain in the neck, victimization, rather than going inward and taking it inside into the cauldron of your sacred transformational container of witness and awareness. And instead of doing that work and saying, where is my responsibility in this? How can I shift this? What is the lesson and the learning and the growth that's here for me? If you've not been doing that, if you've been doing the other stuff, the victimization, the fear, the stress, the anxiety, the not sleeping, the addictions, the numbing it out with a glass of wine, then this time period is going to be very challenging, because we're about to reap the harvest. We're about to reap what we have sown. So if you've been sowing the old patterning, you're going to get more of the same manifestation. So I know that sounds a little harsh, so I don't want to be mean here. I mean, there's always hope and there's always opportunity to make the shift. So if you feel like, wow, I really have just sort of been avoiding that stuff this summer and just kind of complaining or stressing or waiting for it to be over without actually going inward and doing my own inner work, then do it now. Start taking action on the things that need to change in your life so that you can actually fulfill your sacred intent for this life and fulfill your own potential. So if something needs to shift, start to shift that now and ask for help. You're not here alone. You have guides and angels on the other side. Connect with them. Create a daily practice for yourself. Create a little altar space where you go to every day, no matter what, whether you sit just to meditate, to pray, to do some tarot cards perhaps, simply to ask for help, to journal, to read a sacred book, whatever it is, make sure you ground yourself in your sacred practice first and then take action on what needs to be changed, what needs to be released. These are not the times to re-engage the old paradigm of domination, victimization, addiction, fear, scarcity, etc. These are the times for us to create in a new way from the frequency of love. And so the more we clear out all the old baggage, personally, collectively, generationally, and incarnationally, the more able we are to really align with those powerful frequencies of love so that we can be the change we came here to see, and so that we can be at the ready when the masses really start awakening as structural systems in our society perhaps begin to shift around 2020. So let go, let God, sisters and brothers. If you're feeling manifestation challenges now, let go, let God. Make peace with what is and Find the healers, helpers, and teachers who will help you to go inward, face your own shadow, and do the alchemical transmutation of that work in the cauldron of your own divine spirit. So as we move into these earth energies with the new moon on Sunday the 9th, again, I want to invite each of you to really ground into your body and into your sacred heart. Bring in the frequency of love through every breath you take, every step you take. Bring those energies into your body by grounding yourself in a daily sacred practice, by getting traction on what you want to manifest, and or by actively seeking support for shadow work and releasing that which no longer serves you in any area of your life. You are here for a reason. It is not time to exit stage left because you've had enough of this stuff. We have only begun. And if things are hard for you now, have heart. Your guides and angels are just on the other side of the veil to support you. And once you begin to actually do your own inner transformational work, you will find that life will support you more and more. We are in a time of great shift. We are in a time of paradigm change and the great awakening here on planet Earth. If you're here and you are awakening, you are not a newbie on the soul level. You came to help with the change. You raised your hand and said yes to this and probably forced your way to the head of the line. So have heart, sisters and brothers. Step up. Have courage. Find your tribe. And be the light you came here to be. Until next time, wishing you much love and many blessings. Thank you so much.